Render price update starting off on the low time frame 4-hour chart. Then we're going to zoom out to the daily, the 5-day, take a look at the Gaussian channel, the weekly, take a look at what the macro projections are based on the Fibonacci extension levels. Fun stuff ahead. But render up 10% just today so far. Let's see, starting off the super low time frame 4-hour, let's get right to it. So last rally, we went from our low of July, mid-July, we rallied all the way up to late July, rejected right at this pink line. What the hell is that? It's the 200 EMA. Where did we just reject yesterday or earlier this morning? The 200 EMA. Notice also the Gaussian channel red. We got a brief glimmer of hope in the green here, right? Flipped green, start to turn more bullish. Short-lived, right? Rents down. Let's try again. Look at this triple kind of retest of these lows here, like this zone. Look at all these wicks. Back in here, early July, mid-July, late July. 3 times this month we've tested low. I like the chances of holding that, and let's move higher. Where do we need to get to first? Like we just said, the 200 EMA, that's the first flip level. That also gets us above the Gaussian channel. Big things start to happen for render. If we can just close above $7, let's start there for between now and next week. $7, can we do it? $6.77 as we speak. Starts to gain more traction above 7. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, now let's go out to the daily chart. You can see our 3 low daily wicks there, right, all throughout July. Hopefully this is our bottom, and now we can start to work our way back up again. Noting also the 200-day EMA is right there at 737. The bottom of the Gaussian channel is at 714. You can see that. So that's going to be our kind of our resistance line to really start to pick up traction on the daily. What else do we notice? That's also our pivot swing high there, right? So we have a pivot low, nuke it down, right? Came back up, hit that same level, previous support, new resistance. Also have the bottom of the Gaussian channel, the 50-day EMA, the 200-day EMA, a lot of things right above 7. So the 4-hour chart, 7 get us going. The daily chart, you got to get above 750. But we're still not out of the woods yet because the Gaussian channel's still red and moving down. But Gaussian channels act like magnets. You get too far away from it, it starts to kind of come back in here. High or low, right? Look how high we got here. Now, you obviously want prices on the high side, and you want to get away from it as much as possible. But by definition, Gaussian channels kind of act as magnets. So once we clear one, we could likely go to our next moving average. The median line is at $8, but sinking, right? Ideally, on the daily chart, we need render to really flip a bigger level. You can see this here, right? Look how clear cut that is of flipping from support to resistance there. That gets us, we need to be above 8 really on the daily chart to really get to the clear blue skies again for render when we like to make those kind of bigger gains. Flip the Gaussian channel back green. Right, to do that, we got to get on top of it, right? Obviously, we're going to need to get on top of the channel to pull it up. That's what turns it green. When it moves up, price action's on top, goes green, and, trampoline effect gets real good. So, $8 on the daily chart. Let's go to the 5-day Gaussian channel, right? And look at some magic happening here. Look at the test on the low wick, right to the median Gaussian channel on the 5-day. Holding resistance on the 50 EMA as previous support. Look how clear that is. Support, 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 support. Break it. Resistance, 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 resistance. Do you think anything good can start to happen for render if we get above $7? I mean, look at this line. It goes all the way held back over here. $7 is where render comes awake again. Very likely. Going all the way back to March. Look how many touch points. We've just been in our abysmal, devilish dip here. But tagging off the 5-day Gaussian channel, I like our odds of breaking through in the not-so-distant future. To get up above the 5-day Gaussian, we got to get, again, look at that $8 area. It gets us back above all moving averages. Then, once we do that, we can eyeball our new high, right? That's our next macro target. Once we get back above 8. It's nothing else. What else are we going to look at? Nothing. 8. 8 to almost 11, really. So that's a good sign. Maybe we get another pop out of render like these little guys. Or should we say big guys, right? That's what we're looking for. 5-day Gaussian. Let's go out to the weekly Gaussian. Look at that. a tap off of the top of the weekly Gaussian. You don't want to be closing any candles inside a weekly green Gaussian channel in a bull run. You don't want to do it. That shows big weakness. And we dipped our toe and said, hell no. Right? That's what you want to do. If you get a little bit sketchy, you got to just tap and go. Right? And so far it renders right on that level. Back above, get back above 7. On the weekly chart, the macro, look at it's 8. Look at that. Look at that level. Look at that zone. The previous nuke low, close low in April. Look at that. Right under the 21 EMA. Right, we found resistance after previous multi-weeks of support, and we just been again back to the dark hours for render. Get us back above 8 and blue skies and launchpad loading. Right, so that's what we're looking for. All right. So now let's remove the Gaussian channel and remove everything. We just have moving averages here. What about our Fibonacci extension? How the hell high could we go based on just this move, right? From our previous swing high to swing low, you want to use your fib. You get exact, you hold down control on your keyboard, goes right to the wick. You don't have to worry about catching it, right? But you want to make sure it does catch it, yeah? Okay, so now we're looking at our new 1618 is at $23. Remember that. Above that, the 2618, 55, 56 area. All right, you might say, well, what's so big about the 1618? Did it work before? I'm glad you asked. Let's go back over here. Our previous swing high to swing low, right? Similar vibes. Let's look at that. Swing high to swing low. Look where the next move went. Look at the 1618. Right to it. 4 weeks held it as resistance before coming back down, reloading, and springing back up too. The 2618. We only closed one weekly candle above the 2618 before coming back down. I would say that's a pretty good indication of respect. So if we can assume that it did last time, maybe it does it again this time. Fibonacci levels are great areas of importance and areas of interest, and that's it. Don't put too much weight into it. It's not all in or all out approach. That's if you start to show some hesitation at around the $23 area, when we get up to render, guess what? That's wonder why. Yeah. The next area, 56. That's pretty great, right? That's, we're knocking on the door of like a 10x from the bottoms here, right? Like 569. Let's do the maths. Yep, that checks out 10x from our previous swing lows. That's pretty great for a multi-billion-dollar market cap already, right? Render's strong and hopefully getting stronger. The 3618 gets a little bit, Bit Boy gets a little bit Moon Boy. We need to maybe tone that down a little bit. But it is possible, right? We have roughly $2 billion market cap. Could we potentially do that high? Well, potentially, right? We've talked about that in some other videos, but I'll leave you to decide. Let me know what you think in the comments. How high could render go? You think 20's the top? 50's the top? 100's the top? Higher? Could we get up to the 423? Time will tell. All right. I'll leave you there. Let's do our quote and car of the day. Let's keep it fun and interesting. Quote of the day. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. Great quote. If you have a bad day, bad week, bad month, guess what? You still got plenty of life left. Forget about it. Do better next time. All right. Car of the day. Ferrari 458 Speciale. This is my favorite Ferrari under $1 million. Obviously, you have the LaFerrari and all kinds of F50s and stuff above that, hypercars. But under $1 million for Ferrari, this would be my pick. This color, probably not. But pretty impressive, nonetheless. 458 Speciale, got a lot of extra carbon fibers, some extra tuning, different hood from the regular 458. What color would I get? I'm glad you asked. Obviously, yellow, black and yellow. Chase, you should get a model car that looks like that if you like it so much. I'm glad you think so. Twinsies. All right, there you go. 458 Speciale. Rockstar. All right. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great weekend. What coins do you want to see next? Leave me a comment below. Follow me on Twitter, Telegram, Patreon for more content. See you there.